Hello and welcome back to Take a Sip podcast. I'm Leche.
And I'm Tito.
All right, Tito. Let's start off as the usual, right? What are you drinking today, man?
With the usual, I actually went a little bit different.
Same. Same.
So I'm drinking some wine, some Cabernet Sauvignon, as people might say.
I like how you're going the fancy route, and then I'm not drinking any alcohol today. My stomach's been feeling kind of lately, so I'm just drinking some soda, some Mountain Dew.
Some Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I don't think Mountain Dew is the best thing to drink.
Honestly, it's not.
It should have been like a ginger ale.
I should have gone some water or something, or some freaking
like some
mineral
carbonated water.
Yeah, but sucks when we don't have any of that. We have water, don't get me wrong, but
yeah. Just toss in an Alka-Seltzer pill.
Not the same. Fuck that. Don't fuck up my stomach anymore. Well, we have some interesting topics this week. A lot of interesting stuff, that came up, especially gaming wise, like system and engine wise, has been really, really out there this week.
Yeah.
Let's start off with some gaming news, some actual games getting updates and stuff like that, and potential new games coming up. So we're going to start off with the first thing, which I know you're a little bit more in touch with this game than I am. Yeah. But Dead by Daylight is getting a new character, pretty much what are they called?
So, killers and survivors. So the latest Dead by Daylight news, it's been the topic for a little while now, has been zombies. And obviously, thinking about zombies, if you're a big nerd, it's all about Resident Evil. So the next killer and 2 survivors that are coming out are actually the collaboration with Resident Evil. Yeah, so the killer is gonna be Nemesis. Obviously, the big, crazy juggernaut zombie that chases you when you fight with.
Yeah.
With his attack being he has 2 different attacks. His main hit that he does for you is just one heavy punch that I believe launches you forward a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
And then his alternative attack
is that tentacle thing, right?
Is that tentacle thing that if you're seeing any of the images, his weird tentacle thing, which is a new aspect that they're now adding into the game. Well, they're adding a whole bunch. With this update, they're adding a whole bunch of new things. So first and foremost, obviously, Nemesis, followed by the 2 survivors.
Hold on. Jill and Leon, right?
Jill and Leon, yep.
Jill Valentine's and Leon.
Leon something.
Leon! Dude. 2 classic characters, honestly, for Resident Evil.
100%. Especially after
you don't know Resident Evil if you don't know those 2, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Especially after the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And along with the 3 of them, obviously there's going to be the new map. The new map being the Raccoon City Police Department.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Which is where you literally spent a giant chunk of the game playing in. So it's pretty obvious that that's where you're going to be.
Yeah, logically.
Yeah, and if they're keeping it based to the game, it's probably going to be one of the bigger maps that we have for the game.
Well, that would be dope. Mm-hmm. You guys have does this game consist of very medium to small maps, and there's very few large maps?
I would say, majority of them are medium maps.
Okay.
Probably 1 small map. And if I'm correct, this would be the biggest, if not second biggest map, because the other contender, I believe, would be the school from Silent Hill when Pyramid Head got out.
I remember when that came out. I remember the announcement for it that it was going to be the biggest map that they had so far.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the biggest selling points, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a disadvantage for the killers, in my opinion. Bigger maps. Well,
no,
depending how quick, right? Or like agility wise, is the killer itself, you know?
So that's always the thing too. Dead by Daylight, to my opinion, has definitely been one of the more balanced games that I've played. Okay. It is very, for lack of better terms, toxic a lot of the times and hard to find and get into a game.
Right.
But besides that, like if you know how to play your characters and other people aren't just being these massive potatoes or blueberries in the game, like you could get stuff done. And if you're a good killer and you have the correct perks and abilities on, you could wipe the whole team, even though they're
literally like be a devastating force against the team.
Exactly. And along with like the new updates and stuff, so there are new perks. New perks is pretty much the stuff you could equip to your killer or survivor. Okay. The two biggest perks for survivor that are coming out is actually one where you could craft a flashbang grenade.
Oh, that's huge.
So normally you could blind your killer with a flashlight, so you could get away or have them drop somebody to help them escape. Yeah. So the flashbang is going to be a new way of doing that. They sometimes do have these firecrackers, but those are sometimes only for I believe the Lunar New Year events that they do every year. And the second perk is, so as you're fixing a generator, you could prep a generator with, it's called the landmine because that's what you use in the game. So when the killer goes to kick it to reduce your progress on the generator, the landmine explodes, blinding them. So if you are within the proximity, you can't get away.
Right. Okay.
And if they have any perks that allow them to see or hide themselves after hitting a generator, it pretty much just reduces their time a little bit, because now they have to get better from the flashbang and then have their perk activated so they could do whatever they needed to do.
Right. Well, that's pretty dope in my opinion. Just like just all these updates and stuff like that for the game, it just sounds pretty awesome. I mean, going from there, from pretty awesome, from visual aspects.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you were going. No, you can go ahead if it's more about this. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and so normally in the games, I know I'm just so excited about the game that I just won't stop talking about it. So normally in the game, it's just the 4 survivors and the killer.
Right.
So now with this update, with the Resident Evil update, there will now be walking zombies throughout the map. So
added difficulty?
Added difficulty for both killers and survivors. Because these zombies can hurt you. I don't know if they do a full on hit like a killer would, or it stacks up after you get hit by a zombie, like let's say 3 times, then you get your first wound.
I think it would be too devastating. Wouldn't you think, if it does as much damage as a killer hit does?
Exactly.
I think it would be too devastating.
Yeah. And then besides that, for the killer, I mean, obviously people are running around, they're trying to hide or whatever. So with the added bonus of zombies, of walking zombies on the map, it makes it a little easier to slow walk a little bit. That way, like, if the killer really isn't paying that much attention to what they're doing, you could potentially blend in with the zombies and like walk right past the killer without him fully noticing.
That's dope.
It's a risky move,
risky,
but it's
shit, dude.
But it's more than what we had before of just hiding behind the giant rock, waiting for the killer to pass by.
That's true. It's a little bit more cover. It's it's a double-edged sword, right?
Exactly.
It could be an advantage, but at the same time, it can screw you over.
Exactly. Well, that's why I'm also saying like it's very balanced.
Yeah, like, which is I say that's pretty balanced. Like it's a risk reward. Like you're taking the higher risk, but if you pull it off, it's rewarding.
Exactly.
Like you're literally getting away from the killer, but at the same time, you might risk getting hit and getting detected. Yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy.
But I mean, for Resident Evil, that's
pretty dope. They did a collab with this type of game. I mean, it was about time, honestly. Every other horror 100%. Franchise is already in the freaking game. So
I mean, people were wondering why it took so long originally for something like this to come through. You get me? Because even
Resident Evil was waiting for this game for Village to like launch to actually be part of it, in my opinion.
Possibly.
And Dead by Daylight wasn't as big, I feel, or didn't have. Or they probably struck a deal with this one. They were probably in the works when 7 came out.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't like decide on something until Village came out.
Probably. I mean, it's just crazy too, because I mean they've done the collab with Stranger Things. They've come out with their own original killers from like lores and mythologies. So yeah, it's definitely cool to finally get to like an actual zombie type of character.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Do they have, I know they have most of the, the horror icons like, Freddy and stuff like that, Leatherface, Ghostface and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Do they have the Leprechaun from the Leprechaun series?
Oh, that'd be so
cool. Yeah, that would be pretty cool to see. Just imagine he's pretty small though.
Well, yeah, like the Leprechaun or even Chucky.
Yeah, one of those two would be kind of dope to see. But it would be kind of difficult because of the small structure of the character.
Exactly. Well, that's when they make it balanced, because then if they're smaller, so wherever the killer is looking, you see, as a survivor, you see a red light.
Yeah,
like in games and camera, exactly, on like where they're looking.
Right.
So if they just probably make that like a little bit more noticeable, or give the killer something to not fully hide.
Like if Chucky had his laugh when he was near someone to like give them an advantage, but at the same time, it's like a warning. I feel like that would be like, like you said, like the balance between that. So.
But yeah, I mean, like even with other killers, we do deal with them having like a stealth mode. Like Michael Myers has a very small, they're called terror radius. So it's depending on how close they get. That's like their radius, almost like in a full circle, where you start hearing the heartbeat and like the music getting louder in your headphones.
Yeah.
So Michael Myers has like a smaller one. I believe one of the more smaller ones, and it could even sometimes be very, very like little to nothing, because his ability is that he has to stalk you. So his strikes become stronger. So he could potentially...
The longer you stay on a guy, the stronger your hit against that person.
Yeah, so if you play against a Michael, you normally have to like be running in Z formation, hiding behind cover, so he's not building up his stock.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the pig, from like the Saw pig, because she goes in like a stealth mode where she could run around faster and you don't really hear her. But right when she's about to attack, you hear like a tiger growl almost.
Oh, yeah.
So it gives you a chance to like
is an indication
quickly dodge or hide into cover or whatever. And even still like Ghostface, I believe Ghostface is the same thing, because he also has like a stock mechanism.
Yeah.
Where it's pretty dangerous. So I mean, they would definitely be able to find a way, but I would definitely like to see. I mean,
dope to see those.
Nemesis would be the tallest character
so far. Yeah, he's like 9 foot, like
a mini big, one. Yeah,
the big fucker.
Exactly. But for Resident Evil, I mean, besides graphics getting like a minor update like they always do, it's looking pretty great. I mean, Dead by Daylight seems to be going like up and getting a little bit more media attention and attraction. Yeah.
I feel like that Dead by Daylight is one of those games like it comes on and off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like new characters get launched, it gets the little hype. Then I don't want to say it dies out, because it doesn't.
No.
Like it goes a little bit like it plateaus, right?
Yeah.
Like the hype it goes a little bit down, and then it goes like steady,
Yeah.
Because a game like that, I feel like it has a lot of longevity,
Yeah.
It has a lot of replayability value. You testing out new characters, new survivors. Not only that, the new killers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is like an ongoing back and forth, like you doing this, trying this combo, this and that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But moving on from Dead by Daylight, we're talking about zombies. We're going to a different zombie game that we actually haven't heard for a while, actually, since 2019.
Yeah.
So Dying Light 2, Stay Human actually got their first like teaser. I want to say official teaser thing since freaking I want to say July of 2019. Jesus. But yeah, this trailer goes in depth a lot further than the first teaser did. Like it showed, the first teaser was like a story bit, and this one kind of shows you it kind of shows you the graphics of the game, mostly just how like outlandish your character is. And like it shows you like how in depth the game is and stuff like that, like showing you like you choose different factions, and like the world changes on the decisions you make as well. And then like if you deceive certain people, like it affects the story long term and stuff like that. But
it's also very more free roam.
Yeah,
as well. Weird. So it's almost how I saw it when I saw the trailer was almost like Skyrim zombie version.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, yeah. Actually, yeah. So
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be as open world like as that. Skyrim is, because Skyrim.
I mean, there is a limit.
A whole other level.
Yeah, that's but it's a whole different fucking structure.
It definitely took aspects of Skyrim, as we say.
Yeah, I want to say this is almost like horror RPG-esque, right? Which is kind of cool to see, especially in a horror game genre. Like you wouldn't picture an RPG horror game, right? So a game like this actually looks pretty dope. Honestly, this is probably a game I definitely want to probably pick up to actually try myself to play, because it does look potentially like it could be really good. And I hopefully like it doesn't pull a I don't want to say it, but like a Cyberpunk, right? It's just it looks great in freaking trailers and stuff like that, and in gameplay is a real shit. I'm gonna say it like that basically, but so far I'm impressed on what I'm seeing on the game. So
no, 100%, and I mean, you brought up Cyberpunk. The problem with Cyberpunk was that they were there's
wasn't ready to launch.
There's a line of giving updates on a regular basis and giving updates way too often. And Cyberpunk was on the side of doing it way too often, that it brought the hype up and was a major letdown when it finally came out. So with Dying Light, I mean, obviously we are going through a whole pandemic and all that stuff. So, and that's something they note at the beginning of the trailer.
Right. They noted it literally.
So, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you noted it. That's why you haven't posted anything about it. But that's good, because it's not like they were doing constant updates throughout the entire pandemic, throughout all of quarantine. You got me?
Exactly.
Because now we got a trailer. It looks awesome. So now when it comes out, it won't be such a major letdown, because it's not getting everybody's hopes up as much as Cyberpunk did. Exactly,
man. No, I agree totally on that. It's like, I mean, like they worded it perfectly, literally within like the first 2 minutes in, like, so like they had a sidetrack with a lot of things because of the pandemic, which is understandably, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, if they were able to fix it, and what we're seeing in the video is what we are most likely possibly getting in the game, it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it looks really fucking good. So, I mean, it looks like there's a lot to do within the game. Like, and not only that, but it sounds like there's a lot of replayability as well. So, like, for example, you chose to go under one faction because I think they said there was 3 factions. Like, there's the police things, and then there's the prison side, and then there's like the actual regular people side. I want to say something like that. They said there was 3 factions, though.
I think there was 3, but I think they only said you could be
2,
part
right?
of the 2, the police force, and then the ones just wanting to be free. Because in the prison, I think there were like thieves, and obviously psychos are psychos, and you're not going to be able to make friends with them. With
one is like law and order, and the other one's like chaos and shit. So
exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, I definitely that whole replayability. Yeah, because if you could then make so many choices, you might go back in and still be part of the same faction, but make a different choice and
exactly. And then vice versa, you could do it in another faction completely. Mm-hmm. So I think you already could think of like 4 playthroughs like throughout.
Exactly.
It's
minimum.
Kind of nuts. Minimum. Yeah.
Depending on like, how many things they are.
Yeah. And knowing a game like this, most likely there's gonna be things like you unlock if you specifically dedicate yourself to, like, for example, like you're in the police gang, whatever, like the order one.
Police gang.
Police gang. But for example, if you stay with them, dedicated to them, maybe you unlock something towards the end, and then when you replay the game, you start with that like epic weapon. You know, like there's certain games that for a good example of that is like Dead Space 2 or Dead Space 1. When you defeated the game at a specific difficulty, you would unlock that foam finger. I don't know if you remember.
I remember it, yeah.
So yeah, you would unlock that, and then you'll be able to play the game at a harder difficulty or lower difficulty with that specific weapon unlocked.
Yes, but hopefully at the same time, it's not one of those things where, okay, you join the police force, you get this weapon. Now, okay, you want to replay it and you want to play it as prisoner, citizen, like let's say the citizen side. You want to be free, you want humanity to be humanity or whatever. It's not one of those things where, oh, now you chose this faction, you can't use the weapons from this other faction.
That would suck. That would really suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it depends, right? We don't know like how in depth this game is. I mean, if it is like that, that's kind of nuts in my opinion.
Yeah.
That means they would have to create 3 different three archetypes of weapons, you know, like the citizens, prisoners, and police. Like that's kind of, I mean, that would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. That sounds dope.
Almost like in D1 when you had the specific class weapons for Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, and even if you try to transfer it, you couldn't equip.
You couldn't use it. Yeah,
yeah. Like the Tlaloc was for Warlock. Specifically, Ace of Spades was for Hunters.
Yeah. So,
and
I hope it's not like that. But
I forgot Titans.
Yeah, man. That Titan one was forgettable.
Yeah, here we go. We could have gone one episode without comparing to Destiny, and I'm the one that messed it up.
You're the one. Yeah, you literally fucked it up this time, not me. Damn. I usually fuck it up for us. It wasn't me this time, man. Destiny was not even in my mind. Even though it's called DL2. You know?
Speaking of, you're getting on after this?
Yes. Okay, beside the point, graphics of this game look fantastic. Yeah. It looks like it's done on a different engine completely, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks really fucking clean. I feel like this on PC is going to be fucking gorgeous.
Oh, 100%. If you got the right graphics card and bandwidth for it, 100%.
Well, even on those new consoles, too, it's going to be fucking dope to see, honestly. Newer.
Well, we could go into consoles a little later. There's an article that.
Well, yeah, that's a topic for afterwards for sure.
Yeah,
but you know, going off right, is talking about engines and like new graphics. And stuff like that. Uh-huh. You know, the segue is perfect.
That's the first.
It's not
for us.
It's pretty bad. But talking about that, Unreal Engine released a showcase earlier this week, or I think it was like the beginning of this week on Monday, I want to say, or maybe it was on the weekend. They released a showcase of their Unreal Engine 5, like their brand new engine with their new lighting and stuff like that. And wow, dude, it looks nuts, dude.
It looks hyper realistic.
Yeah, like it's scary how real.
I honestly thought they were editing like map pictures, like virtual maps.
Like those Google fucking pictures, the satellite pictures.
Yeah. And then it literally goes, oh, and then if you add your character here, you could see that it falls in. I was like,
yeah, this is like one of those.
This isn't Google Maps. What am I watching?
What's that saying that Anya said? Nani? Oh no! Nani? Oh no! Like holy shit! Oh my god, though, dude, the potential of future gaming is gonna be ridiculous, dude. And they're literally giving this to like developers for like future games and stuff like that, for systems, for indie games to pick up. They could use literally this new engine to create, a fucking masterpiece of a game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be unreal, dude. The potential games that could come off of this new engine.
If you want to see what we're talking about, you could go to IGN on YouTube, and they have the full 15 and a half, almost 16 minutes of the whole explanation and features of the Unreal Engine that people are working on and with.
Yeah, I this is probably one of the things I definitely recommend if you're talking about or even into like this type of tech, like technology and like where gaming like advances are going. I highly recommend. Gaming, I would highly recommend watching this.
Yeah,
super interesting.
Yeah. Besides the whole mounting editing thing that we were talking about, it gives a beautiful look on how their whole daytime and nighttime effects are working. Apparently, the engine is so smart that as they adjust the day and night features on it, if your character's already in it, it will almost instantly make the shadows appear for that character.
Yeah, that's nice, dude.
Yeah, and along with that is also like the mountains and different levels of the surface. The shadows will adjust, and even your character will move and pretty much look almost 100% as if it is somebody really like trying to walk over these unlevel surfaces. Like, it is incredible,
dude. It's the lighting that is just so almost perfect.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm like, wow, dude, fuck. PC gaming is gonna be nuts, dude.
100%.
Oh god.
They even go into how like sometimes only a specific team could be working at a time, and then they would have to constantly save just in case, like, if something happens, they don't lose all their work. So now with this new engine, it's showing multiple teams could be in there working on the same thing and not have to worry about what they're doing. Is it affecting other teams?
Exactly. Oh, man.
So, if that's the case, sometimes all these games could start getting cranked out, like if they're not waiting on deadlines and
exactly, dude,
and other teams to finish.
I think the people who worked on this engine are freaking brilliant, dude. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
They're just making developers freaking. I'm gonna say it in a weird way.
Oh gosh.
Fucking making their fucking pants wet and shit, dude.
That was honestly what came to my mind. I just didn't want to say
pants cream, bro. I'm like, holy shit.
I've had one glass of wine and I feel it.
Yeah. Okay, 40%. 40%. Let's keep it at 40.
Is it 40?
No idea. It's about like 30, 35 probably.
13 and a half.
Oh, that's it? Oh, weak sauce. Okay.
Hey, that's my favorite beer is a 9.5.
Yeah.
But either way.
Talking about all this good stuff, we could talk about all the bad stuff that's coming up with this next one.
So, talking about having these engines and cranking out games, it could be a little problematic for Microsoft and Sony, because even though we are halfway through 2021 already, and there is still a major shortage of next-gen consoles, being the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and C, or whatever the new series are called.
S and X, dude.
S and X, there we go. There's just a shortage. I mean, people are still asking, oh, where can I buy this? People are reselling them at crazy dollars.
I want to get that. I think that resale thing, it could be a different topic on its own, honestly, because that shit is what pisses me off like crazy. I mean, that pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But other than that, all these shortages is kind of nuts, dude. And it's been like that literally all this year, all last year. Even with the last gen, it was since the pandemic, dude. It's been like, people trying to look for Nintendo Switches, for example. Like, I've been trying to look for one, dude. Haven't seen one. Haven't even seen a freaking whiff of one. And
I'll
Amazon, on freaking GameStop, Walmart, like none of these stores have any of these, dude.
Yeah, it's
kind of nuts. Yeah, how they're selling, dude.
Even my Switch, when I got it, so I was originally gonna get the Super Mario edition one that they came out with. Obviously, those things are very limited, and like people are buying them, like they're waiting to buy them.
Right.
That day, I had it in my cart. I had to put in my entire cart information, where to deliver, whatever.
Yeah, like lightning fast, the bet, dude.
2 minutes, 3 minutes max. And I click finish checkout.
And sold out.
We're sorry, the item in your cart no longer seems to be available. What the fuck?
Yo, they literally sell like in an instant. As soon as they get stocked up, it literally sells like that, dude.
And that is something I was looking forward to for so long that I even sent it to my sisters when it was just announced.
Yeah.
If you guys want to get me an early birthday gift, this is what I want. Bro, I won't ask for anything else.
But, beside like all this freaking stuff happening, the biggest blame, in my opinion, is those resellers, bro. Literally, they're the biggest offenders when it comes to the shortages, dude. Because that's why Microsoft and Sony, I believe, aren't creating as many as they can.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they should probably just do one, a system per limit per account,
Yeah.
Like you can only buy one. That's it, in my opinion. But they don't do that. So resellers could buy 50 to 100 of those consoles if they have the money for it. And of course they do. So they just buy them up. So they buy them for what, like $400, and then they resell them for like $800 because people want them, and people are dumb enough and gullible enough to actually pay for it.
Yeah,
which is the dumbest thing ever. Still,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they were even heated up on that because it does. It fucking tickles me.
I mean, it's with good reason, because I mean, us as actual gamers, like genuine gamers, like this is what we do. Not just for fun, but it's technically our escape from the real world, especially right now. Like,
we're not delusional. No, I'm kidding.
We're not. As we make a podcast to God knows who. But I mean, like, when they do that, when they buy and then just resell, it's like you're just doing it for money at this point. Like, there is actually someone that could be fully benefiting from this console right now.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm not just saying it as an adult for
I think some
for
people
personal reasons, but I mean, like a mother who has a kid who's been asking for this for so long. Christmas comes around and she can't get it because these assholes are over here reselling them and stuff.
But that's
you just fucked up someone's Christmas. You just fucked up not just the kid's Christmas, but the mom feels like crap too that she couldn't get the kid what they want. Like,
but at the same time, there's a problem because then that mom, I'm saying this for the higher privileged people, they see a guy selling it for $700 and she'll still go for it, you know?
Yeah.
And that gives incentive to that reseller to buy more for cheaper and then resell it for that same price.
Or higher.
Or higher. So like another, I want to call them whales, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then even other people doing the same thing is like, oh, if this guy could sell it he sold it for 700, I could probably do a 750.
Yeah.
Then the guy goes back, oh, they sold it for 750, I'll sell it for 8, and it just like becomes a competitive thing too. Like
I think the highest I've seen, like even on eBay, I think it was like $2,000 for like an Xbox Series X. I'm like, dude, this is getting out of hand, dude. It's literally getting out of hand.
Yeah. No.
It was funny because they said it was sold too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit, dude.
And you see, the funny thing is too, like even with the Switches, people are still looking for Switches.
I'm still looking for
people are still looking for Switch. I told you where you could possibly find it.
And I've tried, bro. And I've tried.
Really?
I've tried. It's been sold out this entire time.
Damn.
I check like once a week.
Oh.
I mean, maybe once a week when I actually remember to check.
But even so, I mean, even now, maybe you could save your money because even the Switch Pro was just like not fully announced, but it's like it's been hinted and teased and spotted and in the wild shiny version. I don't know what other things to say. Shiny Pokemon. But like that's even been something. So now if that's getting attention, and keep in mind the Switch is still pretty freaking new. Like it only has a few years. Yeah,
is it less than about 3? Yeah. No, it has more than that.
No.
I want to say 4. But still, it doesn't have the 7 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't have like that, the time frame, you know, of an actual console gen.
Yeah.
A usual console gen is 7 years, 7 to 8 years, right? So this one, it's barely been out there for that long. So, and they're already creating a new Switch entirely. It's kind of nuts to me. I mean, pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But still, it's kind of nutty.
Yeah, but I mean, back to, we went on a tangent, but back to this. I mean, so with PlayStation and Xbox having shortages, and all these cool new games are coming out or set to release or whatever, and it's like,
they're gonna be exclusively to those systems. People aren't going to freaking play them because they don't even have the goddamn system.
Exactly. Or it's like, it's only going to be the limited few. And even so then, I don't know how much profit they're going to make out of it because the limited few normally end up being these big gamers, like let's say Ninja or Mr. Fru or even Delirious that we've like mentioned before that they get sent these things and then they play it and it's like, cool, now I want to play, but where am I going to find my system? Like,
yeah, dude. There's 2 parties to blame, in my opinion, for these shortages. Not only the resellers, okay? They're the biggest offenders, in my opinion. The second to them, that are pretty much the same thing, are influencers.
Yes.
In my biggest opinion. Because, of course, you know, they do giveaways, quote unquote. I'm making the biggest quotes, you know, on the fucking planet around.
He's starting over his head and hitting the floor, you guys.
Hell yeah. Dude. Like, Jesus, these quotes are so huge, bro. Fuck.
He just did squats with their quotes.
Fucking giveaways and give away to their fucking friends because they don't fucking do it to their own people that follow them and shit. So
yeah,
but still, you know, there's the second biggest offenders in my opinion because they be buying in stacks as well. They're not buying, you know, fucking 1 or 2 consoles. You know, they're buying like a set of 10 or 20. You know, which is
some of them.
Oh, I'm not blaming all.
It's not all
because
now you're going into
enough.
But now you're going into that field that all gamers are all the same, and we've obviously set up.
The thing is, it's not even gamer influencers that do it. I'm talking about regular influencers.
Oh yeah, that gets me annoying. Like,
no, that's what I'm talking about.
What does this comedy vlogger have to do with a PlayStation 5?
What does this girl?
I'm coming to you for jokes, not to tell.
I've seen that. You know, I seen an influencer that's like known to do makeup stuff be giving away an Xbox. I'm like, what do you have to do with that?
Hey,
like, what do you have to do?
Don't talk James Charles like that. James Charles has had.
I'm not saying him. I didn't say a name. No, I wasn't talking about him.
I mean,
if he's doing that, why? You motherfucker.
Listen, James Charles has hit the fan for his career, so he's taking money wherever he can.
Honestly, though, but still. That's beside the point. I'm not pointing fingers on him. Fuck him. But still, you know what I mean, though, right? It's just influencers that are not in the gaming sector, I want to call it, that are freaking buying the fucking systems to give them away to their fucking families and friends. I'm like, why? Like, why do you have to fucking tease your fucking, you know, the people that follow you that probably, some of them probably do, like you said, right? Like a mother that wants it for their son or a dad that wants it for their kid, they probably earned it, you know, or something like that. Yeah. Like, it's not gonna be able to fucking get it because all these fucking influencers and resellers are fucking giving them away or selling them. Pisses me off, dude.
Yeah. Like, if you have influence, use it for good and stuff that you personally use.
Not buying systems.
Not buying systems when you're a beauty guru, a comedy person, or whatever. Like,
I think I'm not on my knees, but I will beg not to buy systems in bulk.
I'll give you a beer and ask you nicely.
Yeah.
If you drink, if not, I'll feed you water. I'll waste some money on you. Voss. We'll do Voss.
Nah, but dude, I know this topic. Dude, I'm livid for the fucking this topic, dude. It just makes me talk recklessly, honestly. But still, because it pisses me off so much. Dude.
Yeah, and I mean,
you can't find these fucking systems when you want them, dude.
And I mean, from what I read in the article, and I believe they put it out themselves too, Sony and Microsoft are pretty much saying that these shortages are gonna continue until the end of the year, or possibly even continuing into 2022. Their hopes is not to do that. They want to get it out before even the holiday season for 2021.
That's not gonna happen, dude, in my opinion. Yeah. There's no fucking way, dude. Unless they hire out of nowhere 1 million workers to work in their fucking factories, bro, to mass produce these even quicker. Yeah. I doubt it, dude. There's no way in hell that's going to happen.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Hopefully some situation comes into play and all that stuff, and people's lives do get better within the gaming world. If that doesn't sound too cheesy, but yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know what? I think we'll end it off at that because holy shit. I think we just ranted for like a good 20 minutes.
I think, yeah.
At least 10, I did. At least I did.
That's true.
I was fucking going off, man.
And if you want to keep hearing Leche's rants, where can they find your rants?
Yo, I'll continue this rant, dude, if people want me to, bro. Instagram, you guys can see that on freaking Leche Minuesa. Or you can freaking watch me rant about it and freaking in Twitch. Follow me at Techno95, TechnoFreak95 at Twitch.tv. And Tito, where can the people find you?
Thank you for asking. I'm at One Alpha Penguin on both Instagram and Twitter. And also on twitch.tv/One Alpha Penguin. You can follow the podcast at YouTube and Instagram at takeasip_pod, and even on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/takeasip. Like I always say, same logo for everything that you see for the podcast is the same for all the social medias. Happy Pride. It is Pride Month. So shine bright. Be your most authentic and genuine self. It definitely has not been easy, not just for people of color, but even the LGBT, trans, all these worlds have definitely just been one big mess. So spread the love, spread the genuine colorfulness that comes from within ourselves. Yeah, not to sound too hippie, but
I think just in general, just be happy who you are. You know, let nobody tell you how you should feel, who you love. There's no one in the freaking world that could tell you that, okay? You love who you want to love, okay? Simple as that.
And be on top of all of that, drink some water, go out for a walk, read a book, educate yourselves, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah.